if there is one out there, who would you say is going to be? Because obviously these guys are coming to the end of their careers.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, I think he said he wanted to play until he was like 42 or something, but I can't see Messi playing that long. Who would you say is the next guy to step up and really be like on or achieve these sort of heights, if that's even possible?
I think you're right. There's not too many out there, to be honest. I think if you had to pick one exciting young player, I think it might be Mbappe, to be honest. I think he's someone who's kind of stood out. I think his performances in the 2018 World Cup were, again, very, very good. For a player that young to produce those performances in those type of games, that sends a big message out. So I think if he carries on doing what he's doing, playing with the right players, I think every top player who's made it in this game has to play with players who can offer them something as well, because, you know, a player like that to sort of thrive and to win all those trophies and win all those Ballon d'Ors, you've got to have teammates around you who provide you with that platform to be able to do that. So I think for me personally, I think Mbappe stands out. I think Neymar's been one who has been talked about highly, but he's sort of been on and off. I think after he left Barcelona, he hasn't really found his spark, in my opinion. But I think Mbappe stands out for me, to be honest.
It's interesting. I think there is loads of great talent out there, and I feel that, again, like Richard said, Mbappe is definitely one. Erling Haaland is definitely another, you know, which just came out of left field, you know what I mean? And I feel like the two of them will push each other to new levels, the same way we've seen for Ronaldo and Messi. You've got Kai Havertz as well, who for midfielder looks like he's going to be doing quite a bit. And there's a guy in the championship. I forgot his name, but he's in the championship. I'll find his.
What team does he play for?
I think it's Fulham or QPR. It's one of those two teams. He plays for one of those two teams, and he's a baller. You know what I mean? I know we all don't really look at the championship and, you know, divisions like that, but he's a very, very good baller, and I feel like he will be moving to the Premier League, to a top 6-7 side very, very soon. And yeah, I think he'll definitely give some people a run for their money, for sure. I'm just disappointed in Neymar, because I really did think by now, you know, he would have a Ballon d'Or to his name and everything else. But he does make football look very easy in a league which is incredibly easy.
Yeah. What about you, Kieran? Who do you think is going to sort of match those heights?
I think, I don't know if anyone will, but if anyone's going to get anywhere near, it will be Mbappe. He's still so young, so it's so difficult to say. You know, we've seen players look like they're going to be the next big thing. You know, one that immediately springs to mind is Adriano. And then within 2 or 3 years of achieving like quite a lot, he dropped off due to.
He's a sad though, isn't it? Though, right?
Yeah. So we don't know.
Even Bojan as well. Bojan at Barcelona, he looked like a really good prospect.
Yeah. I think there's so many factors because Mbappe is so young. Also, as well, if he is going to achieve those kind of heights, he must leave PSG. That league is not conducive to a player hitting those heights. He might hit the numbers, but he isn't going to earn the respect, you know, of his peers, I think, in the same way that Ronaldo and Messi have, because they've been in, I don't care what anyone says, La Liga is a top league. And
I disagree, but yeah.
It's, yeah, okay, there might be...
There's
only 3 teams in that league. Those 3 teams.
No, but to argue that point though, it's like, Francis, would you say that we're looking at the points tally end of the season? You look at the Bundesliga, and Bayern Munich are so far ahead.
Yeah, but Bundesliga,
in the La Liga, I think technically it's a better league. Technically, in terms of football, I think with Bundesliga, you could say, okay, there's 2 teams. There's Bayern and there's
Bundesliga is just as crap as the Liga. You know what I mean? There's 2 teams in Liga. There's 2 teams in the Bundesliga. There's 3 teams in the La Liga. You know what I mean? Like, for me, if you ain't in the Premier League, you're not in a league. That's just what it is. That is the best league in the world. There's more competition. Like from one week to the next, everyone can get beat. You know what I mean? But it's a foregone conclusion. You know what the La Liga table is going to look like at the end of the season. It's going to be
Yeah.
Madrid or Barca at the top, and then it'll be the other one which didn't quite make it, and then Atletico third. We know this.
But Kieran, you made a good point. You mentioned how Mbappe's got to leave PSG to be a top player. But if that's the case, why haven't we got more Ballon d'Or winners who've played in the Premier League?
I think it's.
That's a good question, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I remember in 2004, I thought Thierry should have won it. For what he done for Arsenal that season, he was a top scorer with 30 league goals, which is something that's quite rare in England for a striker to hit 30 goals. Even now, with the lack of defence and stuff. But he came up against another phenomenal player. No, actually, 2004, Nedved won it, which was a disgrace. Yeah. Sometimes these things, they just don't work out. I mean, it's different. Apart from Ronaldo, though, you look from 2008 up till now, there's always been someone just a little better, has performed a little better. I mean, if you take Ronaldo and Messi away, who would really have been pushing for that Ballon d'Or in the Premier League from then till now?
I think maybe Torres, if he stayed kind of fit and his normal self, he might have pushed.
We all know the Ballon d'Or. You win that if you win the Champions League, basically. So if you ain't winning the Champions League that season, you're not in the running for winning the Ballon d'Or. You know what I mean? Look at the previous winners. You know what I mean? Like in the last.
But Francis, Kieran mentioned that Nedved won it in 2004, but Juventus didn't.
Politics. He was due an award, and so they gave him an award.
So you don't think that he deserved it throughout that time?
Right, he's a great player, but you can't compare what he did to what Henry done. It's uncomparable. You know what I mean? But these things are political decisions that are made, and it's a foregone conclusion before the rest of us find out. You know what I mean? And that's the only way the likes of Messi and Ronaldo can, kind of gridlock the thing, as if there haven't been other players, let's say in a defensive capacity, which haven't been amazing throughout the whole year. Like, tell me, how did Van Dijk not win it this time round?
That's funny, because I remember Roy Hodgson said a few years ago that he voted for Mascherano in 2000 and I think it was 13 or 14, and everybody laughed at him because he was a defender. Yeah. So it's like we've been built to put attacking players ahead of defensive players who produce. Again, being a defender is not easy. Being a fullback is not easy. But
being a goalkeeper, dude, just look at some of the saves which have been made.
Van der Sar, Oliver Kahn, especially back in those days.
Buffon.
Buffon, yeah.
As well, they don't get a mention, which is strange because any team that wins the league first has a very solid defensive record. You know what I mean? Before the goals and everything else. So I really don't get how, the likes of defensive midfielders, centre backs, right backs. I mean, tell me how, the Liverpool wing backs are not in a running for an award. That's like 2 seasons consecutively where they've been top assists in the league.
That's true, but Kieran, I think you probably argue this point as well. As Francis just said about Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, you look at someone like Ashley Cole, for example. That guy's been awesome for such a long time, and he was never in the running for a Ballon d'Or.
No, I mean, I think Ashley Cole's the best left back that I've ever seen, and it hurts me to say that because he's a Judas, but
he's no way a Judas. You guys snaked him. Should have paid up. Tight pockets.
I mean, yeah, it's incredible that he didn't win more individual awards. I think there is a bias against the defensive players, and also, I mean, I agree 100%. Van Dijk should have won it because I think without Van Dijk in Liverpool's team, all of a sudden that defense becomes very average. he's made a massive difference because the front line's the same, the midfield's the exact same. The only difference is Van Dijk is there, and yeah, it's incredible. I mean, but apart from Van Dijk, you know, I would agree. I would make the point that 9 times out of 10, the attacking players have more influenced the championship wins than the defensive ones. But Van Dijk is an exceptional case where he has had such an influence on his team that he should have won it. So yeah, it's all politics, and that's a shame. You know, it's a big shame because it hurts the integrity of the award. Now, when the next one comes out, you know, we're already kind of going to be looking at it with premeditated ideas. That okay, if we see Messi there, we're going to expect Messi's going to win it. It's unfair, but
I don't know how N'Golo Kante hasn't even made the shortlist. Like, you know, top 3. You know, wins the league with Leicester, then goes to Chelsea, and then wins the World Cup. And you just think, okay, well, you know, this guy has just done, you know, quite a lot right here, you know, and he still gets no mention. So, hey.
It's politics, isn't it? Look at the World 11 every year. It's got Barcelona and Real Madrid plays in the 11. It's how it is, isn't it, really? I mean, Sergio Ramos could have the worst campaign ever and still get into the team. So, do you know what I mean? It's just how it works, really.